Hello everybody, this is your boy the Maya Green Talent bringing you a video, and this video pertains to yesterday's victory, Saturday's game against the Washington Bummanders. The Eagles won that game 29-18. It was 29-10, but the Eagles let the Bummanders score a touchdown and 2-point conversion on garbage time, and I think they could have prevented that, but it would have been nice. 29-10 would have been a better score. Cause now the game is only by 11 points, which is another touchdown and a score. So if the Commanders have came back and won, hold on, 28-19, yeah, 11 points. It'd be 11 points. Yeah, I was right, 11 points. It's an 11-point victory. It was a 21-point victory, but 11 points. It is what it is. But anyway. This is a pretty good game. I'm glad they actually won this game, but it been a few scuffle here and there on the football field, but I don't know if I'm gonna have room to talk about that. But let's go and get to the game recap and get to the player statistics. Everybody done pretty good on both sides of the field. Defense, offense, special teams was an issue. That we'll discuss later on in this video. But let's go ahead and jump to all the statistics from Jalen Hurts to everybody else game. Jalen Hurts threw for 22 of 30 completion in attempts for 185 yards, 6.2 yards per average, 2 touchdown passes, and no INTs. He had a perfect rating of 111.1 rating overall, which is pretty good. I think this is. Excuse me. Jalen Hurts had this year. Jalen Hurts this year had I think this is third or fourth perfect rating of 100 this season alone. I think this is the fourth one. I believe I could be wrong, but I could be right. If I'm wrong or right, please come in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. But I think I am right. All right, here's the rushing. Saquon Barkley had a pretty good outing, and I must admit, he had 21 carries for 132 yards, a 6.3 average, 48 was the long, 1 touchdown. Hurts was 7 for 40 yards, a 5.7 average, 16 was his long, no score. Tank Bigsby, once again showing how valuable he is. He had 4 carries for 37 yards, of 9.3 average, which is higher than all three of theirs. Which is higher than Hurts and Barkley. 22 was long, 1 score. McKee with 2 for -2, -1, no score. After they put him in after the game was pretty much a wrap. So that's probably why his rushing was -2. -2 because he got tackled in the against behind the line of scrimmage, so he got tackled. So that's what happened there. All right, here's the receiving department. AJ Brown, 9 touches for 95 yards. 10.6 was the average, 24 was the long, no score. Devontae Smith was 6 for 42, 7.0 was the average, 16 was his long, 1 score, and Goddard was 3 for 32 yards, 10.7 was the average, 15 was the long, 1 score. So Devontae Smith and Goddard are the only one that scored touchdowns in the passing game. Dotson was 3 for 13, 4.3, 6 for 6 long, no score. Now this is the first time Dotson has had this many catches in one game. If you go back to week 1 till now, he may have had 1 catch per game and haven't seen the most field, have seen the field no more since. And so now this is the first time he actually had three balls thrown this way for 13 yards. 4.3 was his average. 6 was the long, no score like I mentioned, and Shipley was 1 for 3.030 touchdowns. All right, now here is the defense. My favorite part of the entire game overall. Again, T.O. tackle for loss, assists, sacks, interceptions, forced fumble, going straight across. So you know exactly what I mean. Okay, here Jordan Davis continue to have a pretty good year so far. 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, and Cooper DeJean with 4, 0, 0, 0, 1 interception, 0. Dory Jackson with 3, 1, 0, 0, 0. Zach Bond 3, 6, 0, 0, 0. Jahad Campbell 2, 3, 0, 0, 0. Hunt with 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. Byron Young 2, 1, 1 sack, 0, 0. Blankenship with 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Epps with 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. And Brandon Graham with 1, 0, 1 sack, 0, 0. Mitchell with 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Phillips with 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And Jacoby Dean with 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. And Moro Jamo was 0 for 3, 0, 0, 0. Now, Jacoby Dean supposed to have went out with a injury. They said hamstring, which means that he probably won't play. If the hamstring is not that severe, he could play in next week's game, or he could probably wait until the last game of the season and play, or they rest him for the playoffs. So the Eagles might go that route overall, but we'll see what happens there. All right, kick returns. Will Shipley with 3 for 66. 22 was the average. 26 was his long, no score. Punt return, Brent Covey. Brent Covey should have been on kick returns, not punt returns. 1 for 11. 11.0. 11 was long, no score. Kicking, Drake Elliott, 2. 0 for 2. 0 average, 0 long, no blocks. Extra points, 3 for 3. He missed 3 overall. Like I said, we'll talk about that later on. I did this last one. I did this last statistics here. Brian Mann with 2 for 87 yards. 43.5 was the average. 49 was the long. No touchbacks. 1 inside the 20. All right, now let's get on Drake Elliott. You know, I'm beginning to wonder about Jake Elliott and his leg. If you want to go back to 2017 when Jake Elliott was the rookie that year, and that's also the year that they also had Dicker the kicker too. They brought in both of those guys to compete, and Jake Elliott beat out Digger the kicker, and Digger the kicker wound up going to the Chargers, and he's been with Chargers ever since. Jake Elliott has made a lot of booming kicks. Matter of fact, he even set a record many years ago against the New York Giants. Matter of fact, the game was tied. I believe. I forgot what the score was, but I think the game was tied, and they had Jake Elliott to come out and make that pressure kick. I mean, that pressure kick, and he made that kick. I want to say 54, 55 yards, so open there with the longest kick in NFL history at the time, and that's how Jake Elliott wound up being the kicker for the Eagles moving forward. Jake Elliott has won 2 Super Bowls. He won one in his rookie year, and he won one last season. So he had 2 rings to go along with his accomplishments. But lately, he has been missing kicks. He missed 3 kicks in this game here, and has missed 7 in the last 4 or 5 games, I believe. I'm not exactly sure what is he in. Some people say he's in a slump. But I'm not exactly sure if that's a slump or not. I think his leg had been that way for the longest. But if you got to pay attention in the playoffs and when he's money, but in the regular season he seems to go out of his way to make kicks only to miss him, either going far left or going right. So I'm not exactly sure what is going on with Jake Elliott in his leg, but I know it needs to be fixed right away because the playoffs is in 2 weeks away, and I'm not exactly sure what the Eagles are going to do because they can't bring nobody else in. It's too late in the season to even do so. So the Eagles, they're going to stick it out with Jake Elliott. And here's the other thing too. The reason why the Eagles went for the 2-point conversion into actually converting because Jake Elliott's kicks. He has missed 2 extra points and has missed and he missed 1 3-point kick. He missed so that's 3 kicks in all. If he had kicked those 3 kicks in this game wouldn't even be 29 points. It would be more like 33 or 34. And what the score would be. It would be a 30-point game had he not missed those kicks. But it is what it is. So I'm hoping that Jake Elliott can work through what he's going through because, like I said, the Eagles are stuck with him for the rest of the season. And I believe going into 2026, depending how far the Eagles go into the playoffs, they're going to bring in another kicker to compete with Jake Elliott because Jake Elliott, I think he needs just a little bit of push in the preseason. He needs it, and whoever they bring in, if Jake Elliott beat them out, I hope the Eagles do keep him on the roster. Do not let him go if they do have to keep him because if Jake Elliott if he misses more kicks in next season, then it might be time to replace him and get him off the roster. You know what I'm saying? But the guy's he's a veteran kicker. You know what I'm saying? And we all thought that he gonna wind up passing the Eagles' other kicker. I forget what the guy's name. He played with the Eagles for a while, then went to the 49ers and he retired. I can't think of that dude they fought him off the bat, but that guy was a pretty good kicker in the Andy Reid and Chip Kelly days. He was a very, very good kicker. Very good kicker. But anyway, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And Jake Elliott, he needs to get his act together. He needs to because they're gonna need him in the playoffs. And he didn't get his act together because I got 2 more games to play against the Bills, which is next week, which is next Sunday, and then we'll play the Washington Commanders in Philadelphia. So that's the last game of the season. And that's where I think the Eagles are going to rest some of their players in that game. I hope they don't. The Eagles need to win. The Eagles need to be at least 12 wins. Need to get at least 12 wins to make it even better. Instead of making 11-6, it need to be 12-5. So we'll see what happens there. In that time, now I've also heard in week 17 they said the Eagles should be getting back Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter. We'll see on that part because I think Carter needs to be out the rest of this regular season and let him play. Or they probably if he do come back, he's not guaranteed to play in the last game. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, this needs to be fixed. Jake Elliott needs to get his leg right on point if the Eagles tend to make it far into the playoffs because his leg is going to be very dependable. We're going to need him in the playoff regular season game going forward because the Eagles seem to more likely to have the number 3 seed locked up. Anything between now and the last 2 games of the season, anything could happen. But right now, we stand to be at the number 3 seed, which will give us a home field game, pending versus the lower seed. And the Eagles move on from there to play the 1 seed or the number 2 seed in the NFC conference race for the conference championship. Because that's what it is. Because the conference championship is the key to the Super Bowl. No conference championship, you do not win. You don't compete in the Super Bowl without the NFC conference championship trophy, and we all know that's how it plays out. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe to the video. I'm the Almighty Green Talents. You can win this game, y'all.